Today we go all Harman Karman and we look at the most over-engineered record player ever in the world. Actually, no, I think Mitsubishi made one and Philips maybe. There was a few around in the 80s. And we get a professional to look at it too and give his verdict. Yes, where else would it be? Scarborough store. Welcome back to the channel. So I'm really excited to show you this in Value Village in Scarborough. Yeah, let's get in, let's have a look at it, and let's just have a little chat about it at the end. So I've seen this a couple of times while I was just looking on the shelves, and I'm thinking, what is it? What does this adapter do? It looks like a phono adapter. It needs power, 9-volt power. And I'm like, well, I thought it was a projector. At first I'm looking and I'm thinking, it's some kind of projector. And then I realise, oh my gosh, it's possibly one of the rarest things that I've found in a thrift store for a long time. And it's just thrown underneath on this shelf. Someone's put it on the shelf. There's a record in it, jamming it open, and they've really made a mess of putting this on the shelf. So I'm trying to carefully take it off, put it on the floor, and I'm thinking, yeah, I don't really want to be forcing that door. So let's plug it in and see if we can get the door to open. $25 for this. I thought this would be worth thousands. It's a Kenwood P9. I thought this would be worth thousands of dollars, like so rare. It is rare, don't get me wrong. These are extremely rare. This is the only one I've ever seen in a thrift store. And I am so tempted to buy this. So let's turn the power on. It's got queuing action. We'll take a look at that in a minute. I'll show you how the queuing action works on this. But yeah, how do we get the door open? Eject. Oh yes. Oh yes. The eject works. And the record's like jammed in at the bottom. So the record, if you look, it has a 45 and a 33 that you can just drop the record on the alignment mark there and it'll sit there. The stylus is a little blue square there, and then you press the button and it slowly closes like magic. Yeah, $120 for one, and I did check it. It was serviced and working well. Now the door on this doesn't shut fully, it doesn't click shut. Somebody else has one for $400 or best offer, but it's not sold. It weighs an absolute ton. So not in the thousands like I thought. Maybe, yeah. But very, very cool. And not anything that I really want for my my systems. So there you go. The queuing arm comes out of the side and drops. Well, it doesn't drop on, does it? Pushes sideways onto the record, and then you can unqueue it and it comes back off and hides in the corner. I'm really concerned that this doesn't shut properly, because that would probably mean that the needle wouldn't be sitting on the record. Possibly not sitting on the record. I'm not sure how it's supposed to shut, but it does look like it's not closing properly. And I think that might be because of the way that someone's just been throwing this thing around before I've got in here. It does open nicely. And it doesn't... So what I'm checking here is it's not spinning the record. You'd think it should spin the record. Last time I saw this guy's like, whoa, what's that? I'm like, 1982 to 1983, I think these came out. It is awesome though. It's magnificent just to look at and just to watch it open and close. Really? Oh God, what do you do? 25 bucks. I'm not an engineer though, you know what I mean? I'm not sure. There's something we do further on in the video that makes me make my mind up about buying this. But we'll just continue with what we're doing here. There we go, look. I got the speed to change with the record out, so I think the record might, when the record is in, I think it automatically goes to 33 or 45, but you can adjust either way while the record is out. And then again, just the cueing arm comes right on for the 33. I'm going to have to try and get in there and show you that a bit closely. But you can see in there, with it cued, the record's not spinning. There you go. It's coming on and it'll drop down. And then to cue it off, it comes off and back. That works perfectly. All the lights and buttons seem to work, but it's just not spinning the record. Now that's an issue with this. I looked online and a belt for this, $20 just for the belt. So before you even do anything with it, you're 50 bucks into it. And that's without something else that we could talk about near the end of the video. But yeah, I'm thinking, I don't know. Would you buy it to repair? Do you think you could repair it for $25 plus whatever the parts are going to cost? Okay, we're going to put this somewhere a little bit better than throwing it on the bottom shelf. Just can't stop looking at it, to be honest. Let's have a look around the back. Okay, yeah, it's just, it doesn't have, it's got synchro, but it doesn't have the, oh, it has them, yeah, it has the AV line out that you could probably plug into an amp. And if that's powered, that might, maybe you could send that to a speaker? Not sure. We're going to come back to the record player in a minute, but first of all, near one of the shelves at the back of the store is this Harman Kardon. It's the 1500. Now these are worth a couple of $100 in really good condition, but I've just got to be careful with these. Just bring it on the level. The screws are loose on the side, and these are aluminium plates on the front, and they're all, I think the glue's dried up, and the catch in the eject, and they look like they really do need gluing back on. Funny though, this has the knobs on one of the, if you saw my receiver video, the Xenon or Xenon, these are the same knobs. Wow, could have bought it for $29 just for the knobs for my other one. But yeah, it's I love the big, huge VU meters on this. It's got a plug, so let's plug it in. Let's see if it works. Oh, look at them. They look so cool. Power on, power off, power off, power on. Yeah, I like that. The bit of a flaw with these VU meters for me though, which you'll see when I put, well, if I might put a tape in it. Yeah, he rotates, so that's cool. I love that. Look at that. That's the counter. How cool is that? Never seen that before on a counter. Nothing on the VU meters, obviously, because there's no tape in it. You think you get a crackle or something, or a pop on the VU meters. Oh, a belt. So I think somebody might have put belts in this, because the actual panel, the screws on the panel are loose. And see, look, the eject sticks. I could live with a sticky ejection button, but I don't know. Its valued is $200 to $300 resale, I think. I saw someone selling one. Let's see if we can get, yeah, fast forwards. Has it got rewind? Don't know, I think so. I think rewind works. Anyway, it's just them plates though, and they're a bit, they're very bent, and the cassette mechanism itself doesn't, it's not very square, it doesn't sit in square. It's had a hard life, put it that way. I think it's been used in a studio of some kind because it's got unit number 1 written on it. So I really did think of buying this. I really did. I put a tape in it and the VU meters don't work. Yeah, I'll show you. So there's a tape in it, right? It's playing, but the VU meters don't work. Now I know what you're saying. Well, they're just for recording levels. Yeah, but my Kenwood at home, the VU meters work when the tape's playing, which I really like. I like them to work all the time, not just when it's on record, because I won't probably be recording anything. So the deal breaker here for me is that the VU meters don't work. Tried it. It opens.
No, it
does open, but it doesn't rotate.
You check it?
Yeah, so he wants a belt. They've just opened. Wait for it to come back. Yeah, I tried it. The door doesn't shut very well neither. So maybe just pulled away from the record. Nice, alright. Rare.
Yeah, maybe the bell.
I think the bell, yeah.
Maybe
It cue, it'll cue. Watch. Watch it cue.
Yeah.
And then.
The bell go no when.
But it needs a bell.
Yeah, maybe the bell.
And it's not.
No, it just.
It was on the shelf down there, thrown on. Can you hear the motor?
No song.
Can you hear it?
No song. No song.
Maybe the motor.
No motors.
No motors.
Yeah.
Tempting though, eh?
Yeah. Yes. Very good design.
Tempting. So we put it on the shelf where it should have been in the first place, not thrown underneath, badly stored. But as you can see, I don't know if it's supposed to be like that. It's not fully shut. There's a gap at the top, and I have a feeling that that's mechanical, and it would probably spoil the play. As you can see, me and the other chap had a really good look around this, and we put it back on the shelf. I was so close to buying it, so close. If it retailed at $1,000 or something, or $2,000, it is extremely rare. That Kenwood P9, extremely rare. The last time I ever saw one was 1982 on a shelf in my girlfriend's house. She's now my wife. Yeah, it was on their shelf, and that's what drew me to it. It was shoved on the shelf at the bottom, like just crammed in, really disgusting the way somebody had just thrown it in there. And I think that's maybe damaged the door a little bit, because the door won't shut properly. It won't click shut. And we came back to it, me and this other guy, and we couldn't hear the motor. We couldn't hear the motor run. So we think possibly a faulty motor and maybe a drive belt it needs, plus the pain a drive belt I looked up was $20 to buy, just to buy the drive belt. So you got nearly $30 with taxes, and then $20. That's $50. And I looked up that you could buy one for $120 working and serviced. So it's not, if I really, really wanted one, I, I could go and buy one for $120 and have it on display. But if it was $10, $15, yeah, I would have snapped it up. $10, $15, but nearly 30 with tax. No, I don't think it's. There's just. Remember, we're a nostalgia channel here, right? We look at stuff for nostalgic reasons, and I'm building a little stereo system up for myself. It doesn't fit into the stereo system, but it does fit into the nostalgia thing. I'm not a repair guy. I take this thing apart, it's not going back together again. So, yeah, I left it for the professionals. Anyway, hope you enjoyed that. At least having a look at it anyway. You know, I'm not going to look at these things and go, oh, I'm not buying it, so I'm not going to share it. No, I share everything that I buy and don't buy. And yeah, that's what we're about on here. So, with that said, I'll see you on the next one.